There's the best car in this household pulling out of the driveway right now as we speak. Anyway, point of this video is to talk about this. Now, yesterday, I had filmed a video, but I did not post it. This is a shot of the coolant, which is leaking from the turbos. Now that there is just your typical AC condensation that leaked out. But yep, this is of course from the Lincoln Navigator. Not good. But as you can see right here when I look in here today, the coolant is right where it needs to be. This is very odd to me because I am losing coolant. But I do this every day. I come in here and I check. Let me pull this out. By mistake, I hit the wrong button and I killed the video. So let me give you a quick background about how I used to handle the maintenance on these vehicles. There was a time when I was easily putting 5,000 plus miles per month on these vehicles that I was driving in the business. As I've told many of you guys before in the other videos, that I have logged right at around 1 million miles of driving in this business. The General Motors vehicles and another brand of vehicle that I drove, I put 100,000 miles on those vehicles. With Lincoln alone, I have done over 300,000 miles per vehicle. And this is my third Lincoln that I've added to the fleet that I have personally driven. And this one here is at 254,000 miles currently. So at 254,000 miles, if I can get this thing just right at about 300,000 miles, I'm already gonna be saying, I'll be able to confidently say, yes, I've done well over 1 million miles, but I already have. And that's just in the limousine industry alone. That does not count my time as a taxi driver. I have never done rideshare or anything like that. I've got a lot of miles of driving, a lot of driving experience. Because of that, to get to my point, I would typically maintenance these cars myself because I didn't trust the quick lube places, especially after I had, with my first Lincoln, these bozos at a Texaco Express Lube location. They forgot to put the oil back in the engine. But what they did, and this was my fault, I allowed them to do an engine flush. Don't ever allow anyone to do any type of flush of any kind on your vehicle. Do not let them do a radiator flush. Do you understand? Say no to radiator flushes. Say no to transmission flushes. And definitely say no to an engine flush. That is idiotic. You do not need to do that. Please, 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 people, don't ever let anyone do that to your car. Now, as you can see, I've built up a lot of dust here. I've already had this cleaned, I want to say twice. I can show you some video of this thing when it's been completely cleaned up. It looks beautiful under the hood when it's nice and clean. But yeah, it's got a lot of dust. You got some pollen dust there. But either way, it's not going to stop me from making my point. As I'm getting older, it's just not convenient for me. And this vehicle does not make it easy. It's a real hassle. I use a quick lube place that I feel they're good, they're competent most of the time. I hope they don't make me regret that, but I've been using them for a while, and they, every once in a while I'll get a guy in there because they have a high turnover rate. You'll get a guy who doesn't really understand, but lately I've been getting the same dudes, past several months, past year or so, and so I'm sticking with them. It is time for me to go on and change the oil. I typically try to do it within every, 6,000 miles on this vehicle, which is well below what the catalyst tells you to do. But once again, the transmission fluid is at 52,000 miles. So it definitely, and it will be changed by 60,000 miles. I'm not gonna push it further than 60,000. By 60,000, I will change the transmission fluid and filter for the third time ever since owning this vehicle, taking ownership of it. I'll just round up, say 38 or 40,000, whatever. Okay, so that'll do it for this video. If you have any stories to share or you have any questions about the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6, 6R80, Ford Expeditions or Lincoln Navigators, feel free to ask any questions you may have about them as far as reliability goes. Right now, currently, the only thing that's bugging me about this vehicle is, like I said, there is a turbo coolant leak. So sometimes, I don't think you're gonna be able to see it right now, but that's why I have this mat here so that it'll catch any fluid that comes out because it was messing up and staining the floor of the garage, which I'm gonna clean up anyway when I go with the next vehicle, so I can keep an eye on that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about any of that stuff, if you wanna know, right now at 254,000 miles, the only things that are bugging me about this vehicle is the transmission thumps when it goes into fourth gear. It's pretty bad, and depending on how you have your foot on the accelerator, you can get by it, which I've learned to do so that the customers don't feel it so much. But the thumping transmission at the fourth gear, the thumping at fourth gear, and the transmission, or I'm sorry, the turbo coolant leak are the only things that are really nagging me about this vehicle at the moment. And if I get those things sorted out, I wouldn't be complaining at all. I'd have no complaints. It's, as you can see, it holds oil very well. I don't have to add oil in between oil changes. I can even take this thing and I have, you know, and only because I used to rely on the engine light. I used to reset the oil. Once the oil was changed, you know, they would reset it at the dealer, or I would reset it myself. And once it would alert me again and say it's time to change your oil, we'd be well around 7,500 miles on there, and it does not eat oil. So that is one thing that I can say over the GM vehicles is this thing, this, you know, the 6-cylinder, it does not eat up oil at all, which is great. All right, thank you guys for watching this video and if you got this far, and I'll have another one out to you soon.